Each village has someone standing in the light, the face people can trust, the symbol that holds everything together. In the Leaf Village, that symbol is the Hokage. But for the village to survive, someone also needs to work in places where that light can't reach. Someone who makes quiet decisions, handles what can't be spoken about, and takes the weight others can't carry. This is the role of the Shadow Hokage. Even though Sasuke somewhat gives this idea a name, the position itself has existed for much longer. It's a pattern that's repeated through the Leaf Village's history, from Tobirama's practical leadership to Danzo's manipulation, and eventually to Sasuke's atonement. The story of the Shadow Hokage isn't just about power or secrecy, it's about how peace is maintained and what kind of person chooses to protect it from the background. When Hashirama co-founded the Leaf Village, he dreamed of an end to constant war. But a dream like that couldn't survive on hope alone. It needed structure, rules, order, and a willingness to do whatever the idealist couldn't. That part fell to his brother, Tobirama. Tobirama understood that peace couldn't last without control. He organized the Leaf Village's systems, the academy, the police force, the tuning exams, and the Ambu. He turned his brother's idealism into something that could actually function. And through that, he also created the function for the Shadow Hokage's role. The Ambu served as an extension of the Shadow's will. They were designed to handle the quiet side of leadership, surveillance, assassination, and other tasks the Hokage couldn't directly be connected to. Tobirama was the first to understand what the Shadow meant. He managed to balance the light needed to be a leader with the darkness needed to be a Kage, so well that the other four great nations copied him, and his ideas shaped how the Leaf Village functioned for generations. Tobirama's logic carried into the next generation through his student, Danzo. But Danzo's interpretation of it was far harsher. Where Tobirama valued structure, Danzo valued control. He created Root, a division beneath the Ambu that operated without emotion, identity, or even names. The agents were trained to suppress everything about themselves that was human, all for the sake of protecting the village. To Danzo, the end always justified the means. He ordered countless assassinations, manipulated allies, and silenced anything that could threaten stability within the Leaf Village. His problem was, he didn't ever believe in the light, instead seeing darkness as the ideal for a village. He didn't see himself as corrupt or power-hungry. He thought he was doing what the Hokage couldn't. But his version of leadership came from fear of losing control, fear of weakness, fear of trusting others. In that fear, he crossed every moral line. Instead of existing to support the Hokage, Danzo tried to replace him. What Danzo shows is how easily the role of the Shadow can twist. Without humility, the Shadow stops being a safeguard and becomes a threat of its own. After the Fourth Great Ninja War, Sasuke chooses not to return to the village. Instead, he took a role that fits his skills and his past much better. He becomes a guardian, someone who moves outside the system. Sasuke decides to seek redemption for the pain he's caused and distrust he's earned through protecting the peace Naruto fought for. This wasn't the same kind of shadow that Danzo embodied. Sasuke didn't manipulate politics or act from fear. Unlike Danzo, Sasuke trusts Naruto and believes in the light Naruto has. The idea of a Shadow Hokage, or more accurately, a supporting Hokage, is about the unseen side of peace. Every leader faces the same problem. In Naruto, a Kage is meant to embody the will of the village, being a symbol of hope and the example every ninja aspires to, but for this to work, they have to stay pure in the public eye. Hiruzen, being the wise old grandpa of the village who cares about everyone, doesn't work as well if everyone knows he did nothing to stop the most powerful clan in the village being wiped out by their own member. That's where the Shadow comes in, someone who takes responsibility for the things the Hokage can't. Tobirama saw it as necessary, Danzo turned it into obsession, Sasuke turned it into duty. Each version says something about how the Leaf Village understood peace at each point. We go from Tobirama basically creating the Leaf Village, because at that time peace was fragile and needed structure, or else there would be no way for it to survive. Danzo was in a political era, where alliances and treaties were what maintained peace. So he becomes a puppet master, using secrecy to forge backdoor alliances and sabotage any village rising in political power. By the new era, peace has matured into something sustainable, Sasuke only needing to protect instead of worrying about manipulating. But even though the Shadow Hokage bears as much importance as the actual Hokage, there's still a sadness that comes with Sasuke's role. He lives outside the warmth of the village he protects. He misses years of time with his family. It's the same burden that ninjas like Itachi carried before him. But unlike his brother, he chooses this path freely. He isn't being manipulated into sacrifice. Instead, he feels he owes Naruto and even his own past and people from his past. Plus, he knows what he does is vital to the preservation of peace. Of course, the idea of shadow isn't limited to these three, but they are the most notable and have more darkness within them than the average ninja. But Jiraiya and Shikamaru have also embodied this idea at times. Jiraiya wanted nothing to do with leading the village, but he still protected it and used all his resources to make sure the Leaf village was never lacking in intel. He even infiltrated the Rain village, fully expecting to die, which he did, all to make sure the Leaf village would be prepared for an inevitable attack from Pain. Shikamaru served as Naruto's shadow for a bit, for the same reasoning as Sasuke. He saw Naruto's light and wanted to do everything to protect it. Unlike Sasuke, he behaved more like Danzo, spying on allies, trying to assassinate leaders of rival villages. Eventually, Shikamaru would transition from that role into something more like his father, a more advisor role than one of a shadow. Anywho, guys, that's it from me today. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a lovely rest of your day.